Attention passionate Dallas, COWBOYS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYS. Let's get to the news. Alright, folks. Today we're diving into something that could shake up the entire NFL landscape, and specifically the NFC East, where the Dallas Cowboys are always in the thick of things. But before I get into the details, I want to set the scene for you. We're talking about a potential move, a player who's been making headlines not just because of his on-field production, but because of some off-field drama that might lead to a seismic shift in the upcoming NFL season. It's about James Cook, the talented running back from the Buffalo Bills, and his ongoing contract dispute, which could have ripple effects far beyond Buffalo. But more intriguing, some experts and insiders are connecting the dots. Yes, Dallas Cowboys fans, connecting dots that might just lead to a blockbuster trade or even a free agency splash that could reshape our team's future. Now, for those who might not be fully immersed in the latest NFL buzz, James Cook has been turning heads with his exceptional play over the last couple of seasons. He's a guy who's proven he can carry the load in the NFL, posting back-to-back 1-0-yard rushing seasons and leading the league with 16 rushing touchdowns just last year. That's no small feat, especially considering the evolving landscape of NFL offenses. Cook has shown he's not just a complimentary back, he's a legit star in the making, capable of taking over games, making explosive plays, and being a true weapon in the right offense. And yet, despite this, the Buffalo Bills have been hesitant to commit to a lucrative extension, especially at the $15 million per year mark that Cook has publicly expressed he desires. That's a big number, and in today's NFL, that kind of money for a running back sparks debate among fans and analysts alike. Some see it as justified given his production, while others feel it's too much for a position that's been devalued in recent years. And here's where things get interesting. Cook, who's been outspoken on social media about his desire for a big payday, has essentially disconnected himself from the Bills organization. He's put his house up for sale, which insiders say is a sign that he's preparing for a future beyond Buffalo, whether that's via trade or hitting free agency after the upcoming season. ESPN's Adam Schefter, a guy who's usually spot on with NFL intel, recently painted a pretty grim picture for Buffalo. On his podcast, he mentioned that it bears watching because Cook's dissatisfaction is pretty clear. He's not only unhappy but has also distanced himself from the team and the city, which in NFL terms is almost like signaling that he's ready to move on. Schefter speculated that we might not see Cook in Bills gear come training camp, and if no deal is struck by then, the question is, will Cook show up at all? That's a critical point because a player's participation, or lack thereof, can set the tone for the entire season. It's a gamble for the Bills, and it's one that could end up costing them dearly if they don't navigate it carefully. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, this sounds like overreacting. And you're not wrong. Sometimes these contract disputes get blown out of proportion, especially if a player is just trying to leverage a better deal. But in Cook's case, there's a lot of smoke here, and Schefter's comments aren't coming out of nowhere. They're based on observable facts. Cook's disconnection from the team, his public statements about wanting to be among the highest-paid running backs in the league, and his willingness to put his future in question. It's a situation that could lead to a very sudden departure for Buffalo, and that's where the Dallas Cowboys come into the picture. Yes, you heard me right. The Cowboys, known for their shrewd roster moves and their ability to adapt in the offseason, are now being linked, by some outlets like Pro Football Network, to a potential trade for James Cook. And at first glance, it might seem like a long shot. After all, Dallas has a stable of backs, and their current running core includes Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and Jadon Blue. They're not exactly desperate for a star back, right? Well, that's where the rumors get spicy. PFN has proposed a trade scenario that would see Cook heading to Dallas, where he could thrive in a high-powered offense led by Dak Prescott, who's always been a guy capable of elevating his play when he has reliable weapons. The idea is that Cook could become the featured back in Dallas, a true bell cow who can carry the workload, contribute in the passing game, and give the offense a different dimension. And here's the kicker. According to PFN, Dallas has enough cap space to potentially extend Cook long-term if he proves to be a good fit. That's a big deal because it's not just about bringing in a talented player. It's about making a strategic move that could pay dividends for years to come. Imagine a Dallas offense with Cook, Prescott, and a deep receiving core, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, Michael Gallup, and others. This would be a nightmare for defenses. It would make Dallas even more dynamic and unpredictable, especially in the crucial moments of the season. But let's be real here, folks. This is where the skepticism kicks in. Mike Fisher, our trusted NFL insider and a Cowboys expert, responded to these rumors with a dose of reality. He pointed out that the idea of Dallas paying $15 million per year for a running back is, frankly, absurd. It just doesn't fit the Cowboys' financial philosophy or their current roster construction. Dallas has always been a team that values versatility and balanced spending, and their current strategy involves finding value in different ways, whether through draft picks, smart signings, or cap management. Paying a running back that kind of money, especially one who's not a homegrown player, just doesn't align with their typical approach. And there's another layer to this story. The Bills, on their side, are in a different position entirely. They are eyeing a Super Bowl run. Their roster is built around Josh Allen, a star quarterback who's capable of taking them deep in the playoffs, and they've invested heavily in their defense and offensive line. But they know that to maximize their Super Bowl chances, they need a reliable, explosive running game. Cook has been that guy, a perfect complement to Allen, and losing him might weaken their offense at a critical juncture. The problem is Buffalo's backups, Ty Johnson and Ray Davis, are nowhere near Cook's level. They can't provide the same productivity or explosiveness. So the Bills are essentially caught between a rock and a hard place. They want to win now, and losing Cook could be a blow to their championship aspirations, but keeping him unhappy and unproductive isn't an option either. So, what does this all mean for the Dallas Cowboys? Well, first of all, it's a reminder of how fluid NFL rosters are, especially in the offseason. The Cowboys have a knack for identifying undervalued talent and making strategic moves, but they also need to be cautious. Bringing in Cook, a player with proven production and a desire for a big contract, would be a bold move, one that could pay off if it fits their cap and team philosophy. But it's not just about talent. It's about fit, chemistry, and long-term planning. Dallas needs to weigh whether adding Cook makes sense financially and strategically, especially considering their current running back depth and the style of offense they want to run. And let's not forget the bigger picture. The NFC East is getting more competitive every year. The Eagles are still a powerhouse, and the Giants are looking to rebound with a new coaching staff and some promising young talent. The Washington Commanders are on the rise, too, with their recent draft picks and a revamped roster. For Dallas, staying at the top means not just having a good roster, but also being proactive and sometimes bold in making moves that could give them an edge. If the rumors about Cook are true, and if a trade becomes possible before the start of training camp, it could be a game changer. It could also send shockwaves through the division, forcing other teams to reevaluate their strategies. Now, I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because, folks, it's not just about one player or one trade scenario. It's about the narrative of the NFL and how teams are constantly adjusting, looking for that extra edge that can take them over the top. Dallas has been in that position before, making bold moves in the draft or free agency, and this offseason might be no different. And think about it. If the Cowboys do manage to land a player like James Cook, it would send a message to the rest of the league. It would show that Dallas is willing to take calculated risks, to go after proven talent, and to strengthen their offense in ways that could make them even more dangerous come playoff time. Plus, it would be a huge win for fans who love seeing their team make bold moves and stay competitive at the highest level. But of course, it's not just about the flashy moves. It's also about the long-term vision. Dallas needs to consider whether Cook fits their system, whether they can afford him, and if he's the piece that will push them closer to another Super Bowl. As we look ahead, training camp is going to be the critical moment. If Cook and the Bills can't come to an agreement by then, it's possible we see another chapter in this saga, either a trade, a standoff, or a player who's ready to prove himself elsewhere. The NFL is unpredictable, and that's what makes it so exciting. Every offseason, every trade, every contract negotiation has the potential to reshape the league, and for Cowboys fans, it's a roller coaster ride of hopes and dreams. We all want that Super Bowl, that elusive Lombardi trophy, and sometimes it takes bold moves, strategic thinking, and a little bit of luck to get there. Now, let's put this into perspective. The Cowboys, historically, have been very calculated in their roster decisions. Under the current management, they prioritize versatility and value over big money contracts for aging stars or non-essential positions. But every now and then, a situation like this, where a talented player is available due to circumstances beyond his control, presents a unique opportunity. Dallas could potentially jump in, make a move that's out of the ordinary for them, and immediately bolster their offense. However, they also need to be cautious. Overpaying or making a hasty move could backfire, especially if Cook's attitude or fit doesn't align with what they're building. In the end, the NFL offseason is all about speculation, and this situation with James Cook is no different. Will he stay in Buffalo? Will Dallas make a bold push for him? Or will things resolve themselves quietly, with Cook remaining a Bill? As Cowboys fans, we have to stay tuned because the next few weeks could be critical. A trade or a signing could be announced, or maybe this will all blow over and we'll be left waiting for other opportunities. But one thing is for sure, this story highlights the ongoing quest for excellence in Dallas. We're always looking for that next piece, that game-changing addition, to put us over the top. And speaking of the Cowboys, let's remember that this team has a rich history of making smart moves and building a roster that's capable of competing at the highest level. From the days of the triplets to the recent Super Bowl runs, Dallas has always been about resilience, strategic planning, and sometimes taking risks. This offseason, they've been methodical, but the rumors swirling around players like Cook show that they're not afraid to think outside the box if it means winning another Lombardi. So, as we approach the start of training camp, keep your eyes peeled on this story. Will Dallas pull the trigger? Will Buffalo come to their senses and keep Cook happy? Or will this all be a cautionary tale about the importance of contract negotiations and team chemistry? Whatever happens, one thing is clear. The NFL offseason is never dull, and Cowboys fans, you should be excited because we're in for an interesting ride. The coming weeks will tell us a lot about where this team is headed, and whether this potential move could be the spark that propels us back to the promised land. Stay tuned, because I'll be right here breaking down every development, analyzing the latest rumors, and giving you the inside scoop on everything Dallas Cowboys. Remember, this isn't just a team, it's a family, and we're all in this together, hoping, dreaming, and preparing for that next big game day. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation, because the offseason is just getting started, and the best is yet to come. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think a trade for James Cook is a good idea? Would you be willing to pay him the kind of money he's asking for if it meant a Super Bowl run? Or do you believe Dallas should stick with their current backs and focus on other areas of the team? Whatever your thoughts, let's get the conversation going. I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and of course, more Cowboys news. Until then, keep supporting your team, stay passionate, and let's aim for another championship season. Go Cowboys!